Well, welcome back, folks. So it's part 3 of engine maintenance. I left off on part 2 where I need to put the bolt in the heat exchanger. I've cleaned all the heat exchanger out, so I just need to put the end cap on and seal the system up completely and refit the coolant pipes on and get it all fitted up to the exhaust elbow. I'm changing the exhaust elbow, and I'll show you why I'm changing the exhaust elbow. And the reason is the temperature of the engine has been rising. I've been getting a lot more steam, and I've cleaned off the exhaust elbow once before. It's proper corroded inside, real reduced flow of water, and yeah, it's time to change it this time round. It really is. I'm not going to clean it again. It's probably getting thin on the walls of the actual outer exhaust. So the last thing I want is it blowing through and having water all over the place in the engine room and being dead in the water almost, because I'm filling up with water instead of the water going out the exhaust. Anyway, let me show you the exhaust, old and new, to give you some sort of comparison. And some of the reasons why your temperatures go up, and also why you get a lot more steam from your exhaust. Anyway, let me show you. Well, folks, there is the old exhaust elbow. Pretty corroded inside. You may be able to see it or not be able to see it. There's the end. Look all the crap round there. It's not as bad as it first was when I first done the clean out, but it's certainly getting there. So let me just sort of show you in there. There's a reduced flow of water there. There's no doubt about that. It really is. So yeah, that's the old one. Inside there is a stainless steel insert. It's got lugs that hold it in place. You can bend those back and just pull the insert out and give the outer casing a clean inside. Yeah, so it's not looking pretty inside. Let's get the new one. So there's the new one. There's the old one. So you can see a noticeable difference. And certainly inside where you can't see, there will be a noticeable difference. So yeah, nice new shiny one. Giving it a colour of Volvo green. It comes just the standard metal. So I've given it a bit of a paint up and ready to bolt back on. And I've put all the other outer fittings on. So that's the water fitting, and that's the blanket plate that's come off of this one here. Yeah, so all new seals in that on the water inlets, and time to put it back on the boat and get it all fitted up and ready to start the engine. So let's get to it. So there's the exhaust hose, there's the turbo, and that's where we're going to put the exhaust elbow. Just need to, if I'll show you, clean the surfaces just there, give them a light clean up with a wire brush and a bit of emery cloth, just ready for when I make the exhaust elbow up to that. Make sure it's a nice clean fitting, and yeah, so that's what I'll do next, give that a little bit of a clean up. Using 120, nothing too heavy. Making sure it's nice and clean. Feels all nice and smooth. Gives this outer edge a bit of a clean up as well. Bit of a blow off, get rid of the dust. Just taking the tissue out of the turbo, making sure that no sort of dust got in there. All nice and smooth by the feel of it. Yep, all good, all good. So let's go and put the exhaust elbow on now. Right, time to put the exhaust elbow on. I'm going to put the exhaust elbow into the exhaust pipe first. I think it's just going to make it easier for me to then get the exhaust onto the turbos. So it's literally just fit it in. You might need a little bit of persuasion. Just going down. No, it's down straight away, which is good. I'm just going to align this and see how it feels. There we go. So yeah, that's good. That is good. It's there. I'm not going to put the hose clamps down on it first. I'm going to let it so it swivels a little bit and plays a bit. I'm going to put the clamp on, ready to go. So I'll put that on there first. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to put on the turbo in a bit. So it's the exhaust elbow in a bit. I'm going to put a little bit of exhaust paste on the outer rim here where the mating surface mates to the turbo. So let's just do that now. Oh. If I can find the actual cap. There we go, we got it. Okay, so just a gentle smearing. Around the locating surface. Don't want to go too mad with this. It's literally just got to be a thin layer. If there's any excess, just take a little bit off. Yep, that's that done. Can be a little bit fiddly this next bit. So it's all just a question of lining it up now, getting it in there, getting the clamp on, and there we go. There it is. Let's get the nut on and get this clamped up properly so it's all nicely located. Just supporting it while it locates itself, and the clamp will pull it to its natural position that it wants to go to. And there we go. Hello. I needed an extra socket. I've run out of socket. So yeah, that's knit up nicely now, and it was just a matter of getting to the other pipes and putting all the other pipes on, and also the Jubilee clips for the exhaust hose. So let me go and get the spanner so I can tighten that up properly, and then we'll carry on. So got the spanner, just nipping it up a bit more. That's it, nice and tight, nipped up, all hunky-dory. So let's get the exhaust clamps on now, make sure they're all nicely located. So just about doing the exhaust clamps up, which I've now located, and 7mm socket. And there we go. Find the other one. This just needs undoing. There we go, located. And done. So yeah, just connecting up the other pipes next. So my next job is to put the bolt into the heat exchanger cap, which is just located down there. I've brought a new washer for the end cap. When you buy the washer, make sure you get the one with the washer in the middle of the O seal in the middle of the washer, so that makes the seal of the end cap so you don't get no leaks. Mine was getting a bit old and perished, so I bought a complete new one, and it goes on the bolt like so, straight over, nothing too awkward, straight over. So that makes the seal. I'm going to put a little bit of marine grease on that. So just find my marine grease. I'm just using this stuff, a little bit of marine grease. Used it for years. As you can see, the tub is very old, and let's get it undone and dab a little bit on there. And just dab a little bit around the threads, and then we'll insert it into the end cap. So let's do that next. Well, the last thing to do now is to put the pipe on, which connects the heat exchanger to the exhaust elbow for the water cooling of the exhaust elbow as well. So there it is, just a matter of slipping it on and then duly clipping it up. Lucky for me, it normally goes on pretty easy, but it is all a little bit blinding, this sort of stuff at times. So yeah, wish me luck on this one. Wish me luck. Now I think I'll put this one on first. Actually, I think it's the wrong way round. I think it's got to go this way. There's one on. Let's get that nipped up. There we go, that's one on. Give it one more nip up. Doesn't seem very clever, this one. Let's just back it off a little bit. Maybe want a little bit of grease on that, maybe. Certainly don't. Yeah, let's just put a little bit of grease on that. Probably should change it, but I'm just going to dab a little bit of grease on it, and I think I'll do a little bit on that one as well. There we go. That should make it go a bit easier, that's for sure. Right, we'll try that again. There we go. Well, that's the complete water system now completed. It's all done. It's all linked up. There's the pipe linked up to the exhaust elbow, and yeah, all good, all great and ready to go. So all the seawater coolant side done. I have skipped a little bit in my video. I have changed the coolant already. I've never videoed it. It's pretty simple. Most people know how to do that. With that, this tank here sometimes gets really scummed up with basically the sort of remnants of inside the engine, like bits of rolled metal and rust sort of thing, as it breaks away inside a little bit. And it gets a little bit scummy sort of thing. So I use this cleaner to clean the inside of that tank. Take the tank off, completely seal all the ends, and put a bit of this stuff in there. Give it a good shake around, leave it for about half hour to an hour, and it will come up pristine clean and get rid of the old sort of stain marks within the tank, and makes it look all nice and new. So let me show you that stuff that I use. And it's this stuff here, oxalic acid. So that is a brilliant stuff for rust remover and DRP cleaner. So if you've got decks like that, like I have, all the nibbly bits and all scummy and black and horrible, that there is a superb cleaner for it. Absolutely cleans it up like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, let's get back to the engine. So yeah, cleaned that out. I flushed the system completely through. I opened up down there, I don't know if you can see that, there is a water cock there that you can open up, which will drain the system down. So fresh water going into the header tank, open that sea cock and flush all the old antifreeze out. Once it's all clear, then obviously you re-top up with your desired antifreeze, whatever you like to use. I don't use Volvo antifreeze, I use just a normal antifreeze that I choose from my auto shop, which is the correct stuff for the engine. So yeah, so that's that side done. Next is I've still got to put the turbo filter on, which I have here. This is my one. Mine is the 150mm filter, not the 200mm filter, so make sure you order the correct one. So let's put that on next. So I've got my filter, there's the code if you want it for TAMD41P. So let's get the filter out. Pretty straightforward stuff really. Take it out. Wrapper, and there it is. So I'll just place that there, undo the lid so we can house it in the filter in the actual housing. And it's just 2 clips, which can be a bit of a bugger. There we go. There we are, just with it. Just make sure that it's all nice and clean in there, which it is. And it's just a matter of placing it that side with the lip in first. And it just pushes down, locates, make sure it snugs down. You can look in the inside there as well. Make sure it's all gone down, which is great. Question of just putting the cap back on, which locates it nicely. And it's been a bugger to get on. Let's see what's going on here. Probably just wants a bit of a gentle persuasion maybe. Alright, let's undo that again, just have another look. It's just not quite locating well. There we go. Can be difficult doing one-handed and trying to show you at the same time, so let's try that again. There we are. There we go, it's all done. There is a pipe that goes in there, so I'm just going to get that. There's the pipe. It's just a breather pipe, so it just goes in like so. That's the other end. That goes into the rocker cover, just out of view on the camera. And it's just a question of placing it on. Just going to make sure it's all clean down there. All good. And yeah, locate it on. Making sure you can get to the hose clip so you can get it on there correctly. Just going to turn it around a bit, that's it. And matter of getting the socket now and just nipping it up, and that is then the air filter done. So the next thing to do after that is the alternator belts, which we will do very next, and I'll show you a little idea that helps to adjust the belts. Well, it's now time to tackle the belts for the alternator. So we'll tackle that next. Got the belts already. There they are. You can see the part number there, which is 966978. So let's fit those on. They take a bit to get on at times. Got a bit of sticky bit of tape hanging around here on these. Let's just get rid of that. He says it's just a matter of placing the belts over now. There's 2 belts to go on, so it's just a matter of locating them and putting them on. It's a little bit difficult doing it through a hatch on the Merry Fisher, but it can be done. It just takes a little bit of patience to get it on, and slip it over the belts. Sorry, the belts. Sorry, the flywheels. It is difficult, that's for sure. I might change the angle of the camera. That might help actually. One on, so it's just a matter of pushing it back to the back pulley, a little bit by bit. Sorry that you can see my arm here. It's just where I'm trying to push over the belt bit by bit. Well, what I'll do is I'll bring you back once I've got the belts on. It's difficult with the camera in the way and trying to film at the same time. So yeah, I'll bring you back once the belts are on and we'll go from there. So I've got both belts on. I decided in the end that I would undo the top bolt and the bottom bolt as well, down there, and move the alternator completely that way. It just gives you that little bit extra to help get the belts on, because they are fairly tight to get on. But yeah, so they're both on and located. It's just about of nipping them, well, putting the bolts back in and tensioning, and yeah, so I'll show you that in a minute. I'll just get all the bolts back in and I'll bring you back to it. Right, here's a little hack here. So to adjust the belt up, instead of trying to use prise bars and all sorts of business trying to put some tension on the alternator, what I've got is a turnbuckle. Get them from the chandlers, do like rig tensioning and all that sort of stuff, or a DIY store for doing sort of garden chain fencing. And all you do is put it between the 2 wheels and just turn it so it tensions. So let's do that now. You probably will see my, if I do it this way, hopefully you can see me turn it. Yep, just getting there. And a lot more bit of tension. See what it's like there. We're getting there. It's a lot more controlled. Just do it with my right hand. This is just a little bit easier, and there we are. tensioned up. Just a matter of now of doing the bolt up. Oh no, I've got the wrong socket on here. Let's put the right socket on. And there we go. That's it, tensioned up. I'll just undo the tensioner in a minute, and that'll be that done. I'll show you the tool afterwards, so you can have a good look at it. Okay, that's it, tensioned up.